section. With the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga, woo. I'm a 88 pack nigga, woo. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood, tryna stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. It's time to bleed this morning. Drew Titan Bros on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Come on in, smash the like button. Share the video. We are our own algorithm. Let's not leave it up to Miguel to do anything for us. Now, if you, well, this is a bit of a PSA. I'm going to put the link to my third channel in the description. That is Bear Cave Entertainment. I'd like to thank you. I am now at 400 subs there. I appreciate you. I need 110 subs before the year's out. Let's work. Let's work. I've learned some important things about the algorithm. And there's been something strange, but not strange, but obvious at this point going on with YouTube. I've been doing a little research, and I've reached out to certain content creators that are not even in the realm of boxing. I've been talking to some people, and you'd never guess what we all have in common. I'll just leave that up to you. Never guess. So it's pretty much up to us to get things done. But the folks down at Google and at YouTube, they're leaving a digital paper trail. You got to understand that a lot of people that are paid to police our channels, they also have hobbies outside of being paid to do what they do here. They are fans of film. They are, MP, salute to you, good brother. Thank you. They are fans of films. They are fans of different kinds of hobbies. They are fans of boxers. And all I'll say is, the people that talk up the fighters that we hold accountable, notice I say I don't talk them down. We hold them accountable. They don't have those same problems, like notifications going out. Like people popping up, hey man, I ain't get no notification. I only been subbed to you for 10 years. Literally. Only been subbed to you for 10 years. I ain't get no notifications. So when I say things like we are our own algorithm, I really mean it. I'm not just saying things just to say it. But they are literally leaving a digital paper trail because all of these things that they're doing can be proven. And when Google has not gotten a hold of the people that they put in charge to police our program, and they will have to answer that in a court of law. Can I ask y'all a question? And I'm gonna get to the show. Can I ask y'all a question? In what universe, because I know everyone in here subscribed to our brother Blue Blood. When have you ever known him to go live and be about 10 minutes in and there's less than 100 people in there? I'm going to go out on a limb and say that is impossible. That is impossible. Well, they've been hammering him lately, but you know what's consistent? As this Jake Paul Tank Davis fight grows closer, he's been talking about it in his detest and how it doesn't make sense. How Tank could have did other things, and all of a sudden, no notifications are going out. Then when he goes live, he's online for 10 minutes. There's like 12 people in his chat. How is that possible? I can tell you how, but I'm not going to let the enemy know, because they're the enemy. I'm not going to let the enemy know about the conversations I've had behind the scenes, the things that I actually have in writing. So when they tell you, oh, we don't do that. No. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. They've admitted it. If you can tell me it can be done, that means it's been done, because it's showing you. Oh, it can be done? Oh, well, look what's been happening. And I know that all the people that talk against what we talk about, they don't have these problems. Matter of fact, they pop up on people's algorithm that don't even watch boxing. You have a person that just watch science videos all day long, and then somebody will just pop up on there. It's like, yo, this dude don't even watch boxing. Why is D Blower Boxer showing up in his recommendations? Get out of here. So when we say like the video, share the video, we are our own algorithm. I mean that. So let's do this roll call. G McCall, Mackin South, my brother, Coach Hudson, Dow Big G, Abdullah, what's going on? Chilltown Majors, Dal Anderson, MP. It's too early in the show. I'm not going to be profane too early in the show. Salute, brother. Thank you so much, and thank you for your subscription. Go subscribe to Bear Cave Entertainment. Salute. Stillwater Boxing. Rod, my brother, Rod Neal in the building. Houston. 88 Sports Talk. Reset Common Sense. Dill Spoolie. The Sensei Stormy B-Man in the building. Best Pugilist. Salute. Des, what's up? Go out Sniper. My brother Ratchet. MJ Total Health. Tim TV, Nada 86. All right, let's get to it, man. I'm asking y'all a question. Big Easy, salute. I'm asking y'all a question. Is the PBC closed? Now, I know the Bliggity Blacks might slide through here and do some drive-bys. Oh, why are you hating on the black man? No. You see, you idiots. I was around when the PBC started. All right? I was here the whole time. I was here the entire time. Before I was doing content. I remember before I was doing content, I was one of the people defending Al Heyman. Getting shot at in these comment sections. Nobody protected Al Heyman like we did over here. Cedric, what up? Nobody. Because it was a witch hunt. When Al Heyman got into the industry of boxing, oh my gosh. I ain't seen nothing like this. We supported Al. Did we not? I did. Let's talk about it. Number one, he's a black man. So let me just disarm you. Let me just disarm you. If the WBC can be a Mexican thing, and the WBO thing could be a whatever Bob orders thing, and the WBA could be some, I don't know, what are they, Nicaraguan or something over there? Whatever they got going on over there. And, you know, the IBF is a black sanctioning body, I guess. And if it's okay for Queensberry to be white-owned and British-owned and Matchroom to be white-owned and British-owned and everyone can be proud of that, why can I not be proud of Al Heyman? So let's just get this out the way. I was proud of the brother. That brother never did an interview. He never gave y'all any ammunition. He never spoke to you ungrateful pieces of crap. He never did it. To this day, he never did it. And I appreciate that. Don't give him anything. I always said that. I said, the man don't do interviews. How do you know what he said? How do you know what he's thinking? He don't talk to y'all guys. Don't give him anything. So let's just get this off the. I'm just letting y'all know. I was rooting for Al because he was black. Let's do that. And I was watching his actions early. A lot of fighters went over to him. See, Al, he really didn't come out of nowhere. The man knows business. The man was in the music industry. He was throwing concerts. Howard, what up, brother? He was throwing concerts, a lot of the R&B and rap concerts. Ask Drake who Al Heyman is. This man is no fool. And he ventured into the industry of boxing, and he hit hard. And Golden Boy couldn't stand it. And Bob Arum couldn't stand it. And Eddie Hearn couldn't stand it. I don't recall Don King saying anything crazy about Al Heyman. He's still working. Strange, right? Yeah, strange. Strange, right? Hope y'all paying attention. Hope y'all paying attention. Rick Blackwell, salute. So Al burst onto the scene. A lot of popular fighters ran over there, didn't he? Because he starts educating them. Hey, when you sign a contract, you can look at this, look at that. Do you know that there's money on the table over here and you could get this, you get that? He was educating these guys, wasn't he? Wasn't he educating them? How many PBC fighters had their own companies? Freedom's March, salute. How many PBC fighters had their own company? Man Down, right? Danny Swift Garcia. Cali, salute. Salute. What up, brother? Danny Garcia just had an event in Brooklyn. And at the end of his fight, you heard him say, thank you, Al Heyman. Leo Santa Cruz named his son after Al Heyman. Do y'all know that? I'm not making that up. He really did that. He really did that. So there's a lot of fighters that got a lot of love for Al Heyman. So please, don't take this morning's show in bad faith. I rock my brother, salute. King the Boxologist, my brother, what's going on? So Al Heyman has been involved in the business of boxing, which is equivalent to a blink of an eye, because these other companies have longevity. You understand? But Al did enough. No Smoke TV in the building. Go subscribe to my brother No Smoke, man. Man, those clips he upload, that brother's creative. That's the fam right there. Go subscribe to No Smoke TV. Let's run his numbers up. Man, I want everybody doing content. You know what my biggest FU to this whole system would be? If all my brothers and sisters that did content get monetized and become profitable. My brother's keeper, salute. That would be my aha, look what we did as a collective. And y'all can't stop it. Sidebar, and me and Stormy talk about this all the time. Things like this weren't made for us. When I say us, I'm talking about black and brown people. Nope, wasn't made for us. They throw money behind things like this because they see a couple of Jake Pauls making millions of dollars off of foolishness. That's what they do. This wasn't for us. You think something like this was created so our sister Cece could become a millionaire? You think so? A brother like Black Fight Fan could get on social media and become a millionaire? You think so? A man like Blue Blood, who doesn't do anything remotely close to how I do my production. I do my production the way I do because I'm an artist. I like that. But Blue Blood just turns his camera on and gives you the facts. Boom, boom, boom. These are the facts. Take it how you want it. And that's why people love Blue Blood. This was not made for us. I hope y'all understand that. So in a perfect world, Unique Dawn, Jalen Hudson, salute. In a perfect world, Freedom's March, my brother in that super chat, much love and appreciation. Thank you. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Copper, salute. Thank you, brother. In a perfect world, first of all, I would love all black content creators to just get along. We don't have to agree, but I would love for us to just get along. And all of us could get profitable. I hope y'all understand, this was not for us. It's not made for us. This was not made for us. They wanted a million Jake Pauls out there, or Jake Paul types, or white Kevin Samuels types. They didn't want black and brown people to get on here and do it in our native language, whether we're speaking some kind of African, some language off the continent, whether we're black Latins, whether they, if you're from El Salvador. They made this accessible to everybody. They couldn't say no blacks, no browns. They couldn't do that. They couldn't do that. We got in it and we're successful. And somehow I've been in contact with black content creators who've done enough to get that big old silver YouTube placard, but at this point, somehow, some way, their fucking notifications aren't going out. How is that possible? And then when you contact the fools at YouTube, we don't do that. Whatever do you mean? No, that just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Well, here's my question. Can it happen? We don't operate that. No, I'm asking you. I'm not saying you did anything, but can it happen? Well, yes, but we don't. Okay, whoa. You said yes. That's all I needed to hear. Have it in writing. So if it can happen, what makes you say it doesn't? Louis Hanton, salute. Brigade, salute. Black Martial Arts Society, salute. So I'm just letting y'all, I'm giving y'all a little game this morning. Giving y'all a little game. I say a lot of things on here. One of the biggest gems I ever gave y'all is documentation beats conversation. Yeah. Yeah, Unique Dawn, absolutely. There have been times where I've uploaded a video, I've gone to my YouTube studio, and it'll say, oh, I got 616 views. I go back, and now, listen, 616 views. I put my phone down, I go handle my business, I come back. This shit says I have 612 views. How did the views go back? You can take away subs, but views? How the hell? Once you clicked on it, you saw it already. I don't care if you clicked on it by accident. I've literally seen that. Yeah. That's it, right? I've documented everything. And what they did to Blue this past week, unacceptable. Unacceptable. So we can prove this. And you know, it's it's very consistent. The worst my channel has acted when I was giving Ryan Garcia that honest work. Oh, and I was very animated. But my channel was acting crazy. Snatching my live off the air in mid-conversation. And I ain't even getting no strike. I said, where my live stream at? We don't know. You don't know? Well, I have the live. Why did you snatch it off the air? I wasn't even being profane. What you mean? I had like 500 people in my damn chat. I was cooking. They just snatched it off. Really? And you don't know what happened? Nobody knows what happened? But I went live right after that, like 2 minutes later, and the name of the live, you can go in my YouTube library. The name of the live is "You Can't Stop Me." Now is the second part of the live they just snatched off the air. Normally when they interrupt your stream, that means you're doing something and they give you a strike. Tay, good morning. Dirt Gang Boss, good morning. That's what they normally do, but I didn't even get a strike. They just snatched it off the air. And then when that live was over, I was contacting them like, yo, what happened? We don't know. You don't know? You don't know what happened. Okay. So we're going to act stupid. Okay. And they'll tell you that they don't do things like that. But if I was on here de-blowing Ryan Garcia, I don't think he cheated. It was just a left hook. I mean, what are you talking about? I mean, I'm black, but I love Ryan Garcia. He's not racist. They would send my notifications from here to India. And I'd have had 20,000 subs by now. See what I mean? I'm not making this up. So when Blue Blood goes live, right? And he's been holding Tank's feet to the flames and his channel's been acting real funky. That is not a coincidence. So Miguel, who's the Ryan Garcia fan, has a boyfriend named Jerome, who's a Tank Davis fan. And there's somebody at Google pulling these triggers. And I can prove it. So I'm popping my shit this morning. Because you're gonna be left with a choice. You know. On one hand, well, here's what I'm gonna leave you with. Cut me the check. Give all of us our subs and cut me the goddamn check. Give all of us our subs and cut me the check. And I want the names, because it's not just one person. I want the names of the people that you put in charge to do this. That's what I want. And I'm going to put them on blast. And some of them are in our chats right now. Oh, yeah. Some of them be on our panels. They don't turn the camera on, and you think I don't know who the fuck y'all are? I found out. This is bigger than what you think it is. But I've spoken to some people behind the scenes. Ain't nothing but an email with an explanation and say, hey, man, holler back at me. I need some information. You'd be amazed at what I found out. And these people ain't got nothing to do with boxing, but we all have one thing in common, and I'll let you do that math. We all have one thing in common. It's like, wait a minute, how are you got the YouTube plaque? Wait, what do you mean your now all of a sudden, what do you mean your notifications aren't going out? Are you in YouTube jail? What's going on? Brother was like, strike? I don't even know what a strike is. I don't do nothing to get no strikes. I've never gotten a strike. I'm like, wow, so what is this? And the brother said, it seems to me when I started doing this, this, and this, somebody got offended. Not enough for me to get a strike or anything, but magically when I started doing this, this, and this, my notification stopped. Looks like somebody got a job at Google to get back at the world. It's okay. There's an assembly line of you pillow biters. And I'm dragging you all. Anyway, boxing, please. We protected Al Heyman. We protected his integrity like how everyone protects the integrity of Bob Arum or Daniel Kinahan or Frank Warren or Eddie Hearn. Yeah, Tay-Tay. Tay-Tay was a wrench on Blue, but she was banned from his channel. Grown with Soul, salute. She was banned from his channel. He never blocked her, ever. You know how he was able to find her? YouTube killed her channel. She started a new channel. And that's how he had to wrench her up. They do stuff like this. Hey, man. Documentation beats conversation. These cats gonna be so down bad, they're gonna say, all right, how much y'all want? Let's do some math. Okay, you should have been up at least 10,000 subs by now. Yeah, 78 Sports TV, you should have been 100K at least 5 years ago by now. Okay. We found the discrepancy. People have been unsubbing. The people in charge of you have been unsubbing people. So, okay, so we're gonna give you your subs and so what do you want? Multiply that. What do you guys make a month? Let's just cut you the check. No. I need pain and suffering. I need damages. I need all of that. And I want the names of the people that you hired that was doing this. The people paid to oversee you, they're really ICE. You know that? There's no due diligence. There's no due process. There's no due process. That appeal is bullshit. There's no due process. Don't you dare talk about an athlete that they masturbate over. That's right, Stormy. I want the names. I want their LinkedIn. And I'm going to do a marathon stream on all of them. Like, yo, you know what this dude did? And I want exactly what he did. Because it's not only me, it's everybody as a collective. I want Miguel and Jerome and his clique of people. And I'm going to drag them. I want everybody from every community, boxing, soccer, everybody, anybody. Say, word, I know you was doing that to me. Let's get in on this lawsuit. It's Google. Y'all got money. Watch who the hell you hire. Talking about. BG, salute. Oh, Copper. Hell yeah. See, cats think I'll be just on here talking. I want them to know that the punch is coming. I want them to know that I know what I know. I want them to know. And I ain't spilling all the beans, but I know. I know how to fight. I'm not on here just talking. The data's being collected. It was refreshing to know that it's not only the boxing community, it's other communities that talk about different things, but we all have one thing in common, and it was just fascinating. And I just let them talk, and I said, well, brother, brother, want to know what's strange? Because when he started name dropping people that do the same thing that he does, but they get their notifications out, I said, well, Ain't his last name Schwartz or something like that? Yeah, okay. I know what you're trying to say. Just go ahead and say it. Because guess what's happening in the boxing community? Enough said. Now let me get back to some boxing here. We protected Al Heyman for over a decade. We didn't allow anybody. Y'all remember the lawsuit that Oscar and Bob tried to hit Al Heyman with violating the Muhammad Ali Act. He's really an advisor. He's not even a promoter, nothing like that. He just, remember all of that? Acondo, my brother, salute. We was like, how is he violating the Muhammad Ali Act? What is going on here? They sued, and it was unsuccessful. You remember that? And we was looking at Bernard Hopkins. Hey, man, what happened to those emails on Golden Boy? They call Al Heyman Black Hitler. And B-Hop was silent on that. I'm like, all right, okay. Go to hell, dude. Whatever, man. I'm done. I'm done with B-Hop. That shit over. Y'all remember when Eddie Hearn came to America with shades on, and the first video, I'll never forget it. The first video I saw him, he was talking with some shades on, and he was trying to be cool, and he was being sarcastic, but I'm like, who the fuck is this? Oh, that guy Anthony Joshua, that's the guy who promotes him. I'm like, all right, well, that's horrible. What is he trying? Who is he trying to? What audience is he trying to get at? What's happening here? Is this an ongoing joke in the UK? You wear shades and you just talk like that. Is he making fun? Is he making fun of Americans? I don't get this. Look, I don't give a fuck about that, man. Look, AJ versus Deontay. Their best in the UK versus their best versus our best in America. That's all I wanted. He collected 3 belts. I said, great. Great. There's 1 belt left. Get it. And that's when the circus started. I remember being on, and then DAZN got into the picture. You remember that? Aaron, salute. HMC, salute. Sam Max, salute. If I missed you in the chat, know that I love you. You remember when DAZN got into it, and I remember me and Xavier fussing with people on Facebook because you know what they were saying about DAZN? It's owned by a Russian billionaire who has endless funds, and he just gave Eddie Hearn the go-ahead and buy up all the fighters. And I said, cool. They're going to kill pay-per-view. I said, cool. And then they said, he's going to buy up all of the PBC fighters, as if to say, now, when you think of the PBC fighters, who do you think of? Well, let me help you out. You ain't thinking any white fighters. Because the only white fighter that they had their eye on was still, that was making any noise, it wasn't an American. It was still Gennady Golovkin, it was Sergey Kovalev, and Vasily Lomachenko. Whom were good fighters. They were good fighters. I had my problem with them, but they were good fighters. They were out there. But there was a problem. These fools, I noticed, I let the conversation drag on Facebook for a while. I was like, well, all right, okay. And then they would contact me. Hey, Drew, what do you think about that? The zone. I'm like, well, I think it's great. Because I didn't like pay-per-view. They were getting a little more funky with the numbers and pay-per-view. I remember when pay-per-view was $20. Then it was $25. Then it was $39.99. And now they were knocking on $60. And I said, they're going to go all the way up to $100. And I don't like that. So if DAZN could come through and stop this pay-per-view stuff, all I got to do is purchase a subscription. And I could watch boxing. I said, the good thing is I could watch boxing over there from the UK or in Africa or whatever. If they're going to air it, I'll watch it. But I watch boxing. That's not going to be beneficial for America because the American fight fan are not like boxing fans all over the world. We've gone backwards. We're dumber now. We've gone backwards. So the app is not going to be beneficial for the average American fan unless they have something else on there that Americans normally watch. The NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball. ESPN has that on lock. NBC, ABC, they have that on lock. So I don't know how DAZN's going to do here, but if it has boxing, I could just turn it on and watch it. That's beneficial for me, but there's not that many people like me around. Now that's an honest answer, right? What do I get in return? Oh, you just mad that Eddie's going to buy up all the PBC fighters. How the hell did we get all the way over there? Wait a minute. Why are you concerned or hoping? These are your hopes. Why are you hoping that that is the case? Well, let me entertain that. Let's say Eddie Hearn gets it, because they were presenting it to us. Well, Eddie didn't say that. The haters were presenting that on Facebook as such. My response to them was, I don't care, because they were saying, well, how do you feel that Eddie Hearn is about to run boxing? My response was this: I don't care who runs boxing as long as I get the fights that I want. If this guy has a belt and he has a mandatory, fight him. There's 4 sanctioning bodies. If all of them are under the umbrella of DAZN and I'm getting the fights that I want, unification, I don't care. I love boxing. That was my response. And you know what their response was? Nah, you lying. If the PBC goes out of business, you ain't gonna watch boxing no more. That's what they were saying to me. Now, what the hell is that? I gave you an educated response, and I left race out of it. I even said, if I'm getting boxing on that app, I'm buying the app. I said that. Jamal, salute. I said that. Why y'all, and when I asked them, why y'all focused on the PBC fighters? Y'all act like Eddie's coming over here with $1 billion just to bankrupt and put, well, not bankrupt, but just put the PBC out of business. What about Top Rank? What about Golden Boy? Oh, no, he don't need to go there. You know, Bob Arum, he got 100 years in the business, and, you know, Golden Boy, they're still doing their thing. And I'm like, so what are you trying to say? All the black and brown fighters over under the PBC banner, they're not loyal. They're going to chase the dollar. Al Heyman gave us Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman on free TV. He gave us Sean Porter and Keith Thurman on free TV. He was working. I said, well, you're getting quality fights on the PBC. What are you complaining about? Why are you that's what it is. Why are you, because you watch the fights, but why are you complaining? What is the problem? The fighters over there are happy. And then when Eddie came over here with his money, the first people he spoke to was, guess who? Tyson Fury. Y'all remember that? And at that time, Tyson had just had a working relationship with Bob Arum. And he basically told him to eat a D. He basically told him that. Nope, I'm good, Eddie. I know you. I know your dad. I'm good. I said, oh, well, shit, look at that. There goes those folks sticking together. Then he went to Adrian Broner. I think Adrian Broner was the first person he went to from the PBC side. About the billions, right? Remember that? I remember being on Facebook. Oh, I heard Al. Oh wait, I heard Eddie is talking to AB. It's over now. You know what AB said? F you. I'm loyal to Al. I don't even want to know what kind of numbers you're talking about. Matter of fact, Tyson Fury put the letter out on social media. Blew the spot up. I said, damn. AB just said, yo, I'm loyal to Al Heyman. This dude just, BVO, salute. This dude just tried to come over here and throw money at me. Nah, Al's my guy. I'm loyal to Al Heyman. And that was it. I think Eddie went to the Charlos. And they say, oh, Lions in the camp. We're going to see what he's talking, but we ain't going nowhere. And they ain't go. And I'm online on Facebook all week long. Hey, well, next. Next in caps. Next. You know Floyd ain't leaving. Next. They didn't get not one PBC fighter that I recall. And like I said, Leo Santa Cruz, his son is named after Al Heyman. So what I'm telling you is that the fighters were loyal. I supported this man. When that super racist, ridiculous criminal who was put in jail for a fraud. What he went to jail for? He went to jail for what he went to jail for? Rick Glasser. He went to jail for turning the speedometers back on used cars. He got locked up for that. Hashtag boxing. Yeah. He went to prison. He went to prison for that. Gets back in the industry. And true, he knows some people. But y'all remember this? I'm not gonna let y'all forget this. These are the receipts I'm talking about. I lost some followers today because of my support of Daniel Kinahan's presence in boxing. And I will continue to support all those that are assets to the betterment of the sport and business of professional hashtag boxing. And now this tweet is not, and he said in no, he used the wrong no. This tweet is not getting deleted. Well, at your own leisure, you can go and look and see if this was April 12th of 2022. Where's Daniel Kinahan now? I don't know. The U.S. is looking for him because there's a $5 million bounty on his head. That's his presence in the business of boxing. That's what he supported. And this guy hated Al Heyman. Hated Al Heyman. Not at 86 in that super chat. Salute. Thank you. Yep, that's what he said. Y'all never saw that? Y'all never saw that? That's what he said. And these were the fools running around in boxing. Running around with who ran around with Daniel Kinahan? Rick Glasser? Eddie Hearn? Right? Bob Arum? Mauricio Silly Man told us shut the fuck up. I'm gonna judge him based off of what he's doing now. I'm not Interpol, I'm not the police, remember that? Literally 7 days later, $5 million bounty on his head. He's like, well, I think I made a mistake. Bob Arum says, nope, we're cooperating with the government. Like y'all didn't know this guy was a criminal. Here's why I brought that up. You mofos was running around and treating Al Heyman like he was Daniel fucking Kinahan. Go figure that. I'm like, wait a minute, is Al a criminal? No, he's a successful businessman. He came into boxing with a different kind of business model and it was working. Why y'all mad at him again? I don't understand. Or do I? It's because he was black. Let's cut the bullshit. It's because he was black. I understand. I understand. I understand. They treated Al Heyman. Yeah, those motherfuckers out here defending Daniel Kinahan. And I'm like, man, y'all ain't never defend Al Heyman like this. Everything Al Heyman did, y'all critiqued. Y'all not even critiqued. Critique is a good thing. Y'all criticized him. That's the bad part. And the man never gave y'all one goddamn interview. Not one. All I saw was a bunch of fighters around him that were just happy. They didn't chase the bag by leaving and going over to the zone. Y'all remember what they tried to do with Deontay? Y'all remember what Eddie Hearn tried to do to Deontay? Oh, Deontay, come over to the zone, and we have $100 million for you. Come over to the zone. The facts are Deontay went to the meeting, right? Well, let me take a step back. I think Lou DiBella was working with him too. Lou DiBella was the one that set up the meeting, right? But I think if I forgot the specifics, but I think Lou DiBella set up the meeting. But I think that Shelly Finkel didn't call for it. She's like, why are you doing that? And I think Lou DiBella was removed because he went over there to see what kind of numbers they were talking. And I think Shelly Finkel said, yeah, I didn't ask you to do that. So I think he was removed. Right? I think he was removed from, working with them. If I remember correctly, but that's neither here nor there. Deontay ended up going to the meeting. Deontay, we have $100 million. And, we 3-fight deal, $100 million. We have this for you. And Deontay said, is AJ on the contract? Don't worry about that. You can fight him, and we'll get you these fights over here, and you can come to the UK and you can fight. Is AJ in the contract? No, don't worry about that. You signed the zone, $100 million, and is AJ in the contract? No. He got up and left. I don't understand. And here's the funny part. The zone put out in the media, we apologize because we didn't have our business in order. Who remembers that? The zone apologized. Who remembers that? I remember that. But what the fuck do you think everyone said? And Deontay ducked $100 million to fight AJ. AJ wasn't in the contract, dumbasses. I said, you don't see this article, the zone apologizing? We didn't have our business in order. It wasn't Deontay's fault. I knew that. And mind you, that was before we built the relationship, well, I built the relationship with them. That was before I knew them. I was reading it. I said, yo, it's right here. What are you talking about? They said sorry. It was like something like a 3-fight deal on the zone. But guess what? AJ's a matchroom fighter. In other words, they wanted to lock Deontay in a 3-fight deal for $100 million. And have AJ on matchroom do everything else. And you know what the story would have been if Deontay chased that bread? Deontay accepted $100 million rather than fight Anthony Joshua. That would have been the goddamn narrative. I remember this stuff. I was here the whole time. I was here. Al Heyman was educating fighters. Main Biker, salute. Kawhi Elliott, salute. He was educating fighters. So my question this morning, it's not coming from a place of, aha, I defended the PBC. I defended the fighters. I defended Al Heyman. But in this last couple of years, I was left scratching my head. CB Sports, salute. I didn't understand certain things. Why hasn't Errol Spence been in the ring since he lost the butt? That's a real question. I don't think he was that hurt. He just lost the fight. Then he was supposed to be fighting for Sebastian Fundora. Bud asked him, hey, man, you got to get back in line. Errol said, I don't do lines. Remember that? And we got on here and say, man, that's kind of fucked up, man. Bud's trying to go to 54, bro. He deserves that. Well, that disappeared. And I'm like, what the hell? What happened to that? You remember there was some shit disappearing that was like, wait, what's going on? Then I'm seeing Danny Garcia, his father, Angel. He was talking about, hey, man, you know, my son ain't been in the ring. You know, we was on the shelf. And I'm like, what's that? What's going on here? Let me pause real quick. Everybody say happy birthday to my brother, Trick Nolte. Today is his born day. This is my brother for life. Shout out to Texas. Every time you see a rock star on my panel, this is this brother getting busy doing the work. Happy born day to my brother. Love you, brother, man. And you keep grinding, man. Happy born day to my brother, Trick Nolte. He says, salute Drew and Layman Brewster used to work for Al Heyman. He left because he knew the ship was sinking years ago. He expressed inactive fighters, poor promotion. Oh, yeah. Lackluster events and financial roles. He left. Yeah. And this is the part, and me and you spoke about this before, Trick. The business model of Al Heyman with getting back-end money, and see, we never heard of that until like maybe a decade ago when Al started doing it. I mean, the amount of boxing big heads that got online thinking that they knew what was going on, and oh well, you know, the back-end money, and this fight needs to marinate. You know, all y'all motherfuckers thought y'all was smart. Y'all are dumb as hell. Basically, a lot of Al Heyman's, a lot of his moves was accepted off of good faith. Like I said, he already had a great reputation in business and throwing concerts and stuff like that. He already had a great reputation. So when he got into business, he was able to go to people and say, look, I got these fighters here. They have a fan base. Isaiah, what up? I want to throw an event at this venue. Can you foot me the bill for this? And we expect to make X amount of dollars in which we'll be able to pay you back and you will reap some benefit. And let's work from there. And for the most part, that was happening because the PBC was everywhere. They had network deals and everything. Nicholas Levy, salute. Good to see you. So this was like a lot of that stuff was good faith because of Al Heyman and who he was. But what happens is, you know, he was also telling fighters, hey, look, man, I could pay you $5 million up front, but there's something called back end money in which, you know, you can get in the contract, you can get a percentage off of every sale of soda and popcorn and every hot dog. And when we done counting every dime, that $5 million I gave you up front, it could be easily $30 million. Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis. Up front, I think Tank got 5 or 6. I think Ryan got 2.5. When everything got counted, from this pay-per-view sales to the food sales, they both walked away with like 30 million or something like that, right? I'm not a numbers guy. See what I mean? But that kind of business model ran its course. Adrian Vince, salute. You know why I ran its course? Nobody anticipated a guy like Turkey Al-Sheikh, who came through with real money, and says, yeah, man, I'll pay you 10. Forget about back end money. I would have paid you 3. And when all your back end money comes in, it probably would have been 5. I'll pay you 10. But here's the deal. You ain't coming over here for free. I'm gonna pay you 10. And that guy across the street that you said you can't fight him because he's across the street, I'm gonna pay him 10. And y'all gonna come to Saudi and fight. Yeah, we'll see who's chasing the bag now. How many people ran over the Riyadh season? But here's the deal. Al Heyman, I suspect, he's not fighting the power. I think he's telling guys, hey, man, if you get that call from Turkey, you need to take it. You remember when the PBC was on fire? You remember when they spoke to, what's his name? And they did the interview with him in Showtime. His name escapes me right now. And he said, oh, no, the boxing is very much alive. We got 11 fights lined up for this coming year. And then like a month later, we found out that Showtime's getting out of boxing. I said, oh, shit, he lied. Yeah, I got mad at Fred. But Fred was telling us all year long, hey, this ship is sinking, man. I play cards with these guys. This ship is sinking. It's not good. All of this shit that Fred was talking about Al Heyman, they were calling him all kinds of coons and use a coon. You want to see this guy lose and use a coon and coon. Well, I'm not here to argue about your personal feelings about Fred Hawthorne. I'm not. But there comes a point in time where you got to listen to certain things and analyze, okay, I might not like this guy, but what is he saying? And then look at the landscape. And then evaluate. Rick, what up? Does this make sense? There was a lot of things that he said. Grant, what up? There was a lot of things that he said that was lining up. And all I kept saying was, well, we gotta. Thank you, Copper, Stephen Espinoza. I said, well, we gotta see. What, it was unbelievable? Oh, Fred don't play cards with them. Yeah, just like Blue Blood never ran in the butt at the 7-Eleven. They had a conversation, right? Well, it turns out it was true. Right? Fred said, man, I found out about this shit over a cards game. Man, Fred lying. Oh, well, look, we gonna see. And then they just got out of the, look, a lucrative deal. Stephen Espinoza said we have 11 fights lined up. The number 11 is in my head. We got 11 fights lined up. We got 11 fights lined up. We're okay. And then they went out of business. I said, oh, shit. What happened to those 11 fights? Who were those 11 fights? Wait a minute. What just happened? And Fred said, I told you. Y'all been calling him a coon all year long. But y'all had no smoke for Rick Glasser, who was totally attacking Al Heyman for different reasons. That's why I tell y'all brothers, y'all got to be careful, man. And what do I hear? The enemy of my enemy. And that's when we fast forward through all of that shit. That's when we get to Tank Davis. It wasn't even Showtime that was a nail in the coffin for me. PGA, salute. It was that Tank Davis shit. Now, I know the Davis fans, the antennas, I know Jerome's antennas went up. I need you to listen. I need you to listen. Because this is deeper than Tank. And I know you want to go deep in him. But stop being a pervert for 2 seconds and just listen to what I'm saying. The Showtime situation, I said, all right, maybe they just didn't want to do it. But I said, it's the PBC. Trey, what up? It's the PBC. They're going to pop up somewhere. That's what we found out about the Amazon deal, right? We found out about that. And I said, that's great. Or is it? How many of y'all have Amazon? I do. I already had it. So I said, okay, well, all right, I'm already ahead of the game. And then here comes Tank Davis. Well, let me just play it for you because, you know, motherfuckers be like, oh, you lying. Oh, yeah. Here comes Tank Davis with this. You remember this?
You say before you retire, you want to fight Devin and Shakur. Is that still the plan?
I never said that. When I said that? I never said that.
anyway.
But I would for sure. But I never said before I retire I want to fight them too. I never said that. You said.
New deal, 7-fight deal, which is music to the ears of many boxing fans. Get to see you in action for several more years. What type of names are we talking about in those 7 names?
Whoever you name, they could be in it.
Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah,
Ryan Garcia.
yeah,
Devin Haney.
yeah,
Shakur Stevenson.
yeah,
Devin Haney.
yeah,
Shakur Stevenson.
yeah.
Devin Haney.
Well, y'all heard it. Joe Townsend, salute, brother. Y'all heard it. Now, here's what I believe, and I said this before. PBC, salute. I said this before. Tank didn't make that up. You hear that, Tank fans? Watch this. It's going to sound like I'm coming to his defense. I'm just telling the truth and what I think happened. Tank didn't make that up. He's not smart enough to make that up. Do y'all hear me? He's not smart enough to make that up. I'm going to say it one more time. He is not smart enough. If anything, he'd be talking about, yeah, I got a deal coming up with this next fight. It's exceptional. A lot of money. Don't know who the next opponent is going to be. 7-fight deal is pretty specific. Not 5, not 4, not 3. He said 7. Somebody lied to that kid. And I said this before, but you dumbass niggas don't want to hear it. And that's when he got mad and said, you know what? I'm done with this boxing-ish. And I'm retiring at the end of 2025. And do you remember? He said, me and Al are leaving at the end of 2025. Did you not hear that? Did you not hear that? You know what you niggas heard? Oh, Tank got a 7-fight deal. Tank got a 7-fight deal. He fighting everybody. Wait a minute. No. He said he's retiring at the end of 2025. He fighting everybody. Everybody gonna get that smoke. He gonna whoop on Devin, Shakur's, or Floyd Schofield. He get everybody. Baltimore. I'm like, no, wait, hold on. He said he's leaving. He said that. Do y'all get the connection? Somebody lied to this kid. Hey man, we got this we got this whole deal locked down. It's more money than Floyd ever touched. It's a 7-fight deal, Tank. Groovy. Then someone said, Tank, that shit fell through, bro. Anthony, what up? That shit fell through, bro. We can't do it. Man, you know what? Me and Al, I'm gonna give these niggas one more fight. Me and Al leaving. Okay. So what do you want to do, Tank? Since Leonard Ellaby told us you pick your own fights, right? What do you want to do? Enter Lamont Roach. Is it all making sense now? Enter Lamont Roach. So the casuals are like, who's Lamont Roach? We don't care. We just want to see Tank knock somebody out. The people that know better, like myself and Coach Hudson and Stormy and 78 and BF, we was like, yo, I know that guy. First of all, he's at 130. Didn't Jamel Herring beat this dude? Why is Tank fight? Here he go again. And that's where it started. But it doesn't end there. But wait, there's more. We thought we were going to Houston. I thought I was going to Houston to hang out with my brother Rod Neal and Trick Nolte at the Toyota Center. Remember that? I said, oh, okay. So he's fighting this dude that he has no business fighting. Here you go, pulling somebody up from a lower weight class. All right. I got some vacation time around that time. Maybe I'll go to the fight. I don't know. Never been to Houston, whatever. But there was a problem. There was no promotion for this fight. Well, I'm sorry, there was a lot of promotion for this fight. And I'm online one day, and Blue Blood says, hey, bro, this the Toyota Center don't know what the hell they talking about. I was like, wait a minute, what? And he said, wait, hold on, man. Hold on. Y'all do remember that Tank Davis was still having some legal issues, right? Y'all remember that, right? And it was around his birthday, he was trying to go to Japan to go hang out. Y'all remember that, right? The difficulty was it was too close to the original date. So when the fight was taking place, I said, wait a minute. When he's going to Japan, he's supposed to be in camp. So he must know he's going to knock out Lamont Roach. Or is there a fight that weekend? Y'all remember that? So then Blue makes the phone call. And he puts it in a video. And whoever he spoke to on the phone, didn't matter. The person said, look, I know, Blue just asked, is there something for that weekend? The person on the phone said, no, there's nothing booked for that weekend. You know, and then the Blue said, was there ever anything booked for that weekend? The man on the phone said, I know what's been said online, but there's nothing booked for this weekend. There was nothing booked for the entire week. And like the dopes y'all are, y'all blame Blue for that.
What?
I don't understand. You know how many phone calls I got? Niggas saying, oh man, that's fucked up. What's fucked up? He's getting us the answers. I know one motherfucker that literally bought a plane ticket and booked a hotel for that weekend. Guess what? He got his money back for the hotel, but you can't unbook plane tickets. Eventually, you got to use it to fly somewhere. So I said, well, what's the problem, y'all? I had people from other walks of life. Let me say this, man. Let me say this. I need to be very clear. Just because you excel at another walk of life, another form of business, please don't think that that translates somewhere else. I can respect your line of work, whether you're making $5 or $5 million. That does not mean you know what's going on over here. For example, I work for transit. You know how many people, while I'm in the street in uniform, you know how many people come up and, hey man, what's wrong with the 2 train? Why the fuck would I know what's going on with the 2 train when you see I just got off this bus? I just parked this bus. Why would I know what's going on upstairs? I can't answer the public like that. But I just say, hey, you know, I don't know. I just got off this bus, man. I don't know what's going on upstairs. You can tell, you know better than me. Then they start ranting. Oh, well, something happened and pulled it. Okay. Just because it says MTA on my right arm, that don't mean I know everything. We're not all psychically linked. I don't know what happened upstairs. I'm here. Would you have a dentist perform brain surgery on you? Would you have a brain surgeon perform a root canal on you? Both are doctors, but in different disciplines. You know how many people call me saying, well, he called the wrong person. No, he called somebody that worked at the fucking Toyota Center. Don't tell me that that person's not qualified to answer questions. He's told, okay, somebody might call and ask about this. You tell them this. And it's boxing. Things are subject to change. But at that point, when he made that phone call, we was like a month out from the supposed fight date. And he reminded us, hey, man, this dude was trying to leave the country a couple of weeks ago. He's supposed to be in camp. He said there's no fight. So I don't know what's going on over there at the PBC. And I said, man, this sounds crazy. And people got mad at him. Niggas called me to scream about Blue. Well, that's your man. Yeah. Why are you mad? Oh, just say it. Oh, he's always hating on Tank. No, he don't hate on Tank. He's asking WTF is going on here. This is Tank Davis. Wherever he says, boom, I'm fighting here, the first thing that happens is it sells out. Right? Right? So I'm like, how they don't book a venue? That is un-PBC like. That is un-Tank Davis's name like. So I'm like, what's going on? And it escalated from there. Then they end up in Brooklyn. So Blue wasn't wrong. Let's not forget that. Because all that screaming and hollering, I had a big old conversation with a buddy of mine. I'm like, bro, look, you're mad. You're mad. You're mad at Blue for whatever your reasons is. You're mad at him. I understand. But look, he's not wrong. All he did was make a phone call. Then the brother wants to say, well, I'm just letting you know because you gotta be more cautious when you're listening to people. Dude, I'm older than you. I'm older than you, bro. I know how to pick my friends. Goddamn. I'm just listening and I'm evaluating, and things were lining up. Things were lining up, and I'm saying, yo, look, if it didn't line up, first thing, I wouldn't get online and say, well, Blue's wrong. He's not lining. No, I'm not KQKC. I wouldn't do that shit. I would call Blue on a goddamn phone and be like, hey, bro, this ain't lining up. I wouldn't get online and say, nah, Blue Blood's wrong. And no, I ain't doing that. Fuck out of here. We'll never do that. I'm not that crackhead from Chicago, KQKC. I'm not that. I would call him. But it was lining up. I was like, yo, this is lining up, man. This don't look good. That's what I said. I didn't say what was wrong with Tank. You know what I said? What's going on with the PBC? And then the 7-fight deal, I said, wait a minute. I think they lied to that kid. That's what I said. And then I'm watching Tank during that goddamn, when they did move to the Barclays, which is where they should have been in the first place. I'm watching the press conference. And I'm like, what's wrong with this production? Tank looked disinterested. He didn't want to be there. Got into an argument with somebody in the goddamn audience, and then got in the ring with Lamont Roach and fought to a draw. And I think he lost, but it was a draw. Talking about he got grease in his eye. It's a shit show. Then he says no rematch. The person I'm fighting next was in the locker room. I said, well, wasn't Shakur there? Okay, I don't mind him running it back. I don't mind him not running it back with Lamont. He can get that later. Shakur's there. He can fight Shakur. Then it was like, nah, Jake Paul was in there. He can't be fighting Jake Paul, yo. Jake Paul's a heavyweight. Nah. He not fighting Jake Paul. Then here come Blue. I heard it was Jake Paul. You lying, Blue. You hating on Tank, Blue. Oh, my God, Blue. You hate. What we got now? Here's my question to you. To you, YEW. Has Blue been wrong about any of this shit? Case closed. Case closed. Rod Neal lives in Houston. The way the PBC put out why they're not going to Houston, it sounded like there was a problem with the venue, the way I read it. Rod said, nah, man, the Rockets are playing that week. So ain't no burst pipe or nothing like that. I was like, so what? Wait, hold on. This is Tank. So when Blue was like, yo, man, there's financial issues. Blue and Fred was like, there's financial issues. The Showtime, whatever. And then Showtime's gone. Then they can't book the Toyota Center in Houston. And then this dude's talking about, hey man, new 7-fight deal, whoever you name, and Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia and Shakur, to me and Al getting out the business at the end of 2025. You and Al? What is that going to leave the PBC? Gone. And Fred been telling y'all for at least 2 years now, yo, there's a problem over here. Oh, Fred, you hating. You just hate on black people. You just hate on black people. Isn't that what they say about Tank when I start speaking the truth? And I say, when have I lied on Tank? Oh, no, but you just be on Tank's case, a little more than, no. Why don't you ever talk about Shakur? I always do. What are we talking about? I'm saying that there's a problem here. And on his way out of the game, he's going to fight a heavyweight. And don't look now, I just saw that there's like a knockout bonus for this fight. Y'all still want to tell me it's an expedition? It's an expedition, yeah? Jake just said there's a goddamn knockout bonus. It's an expedition, right? Okay. I'm going on record saying I don't like this fight. He don't need to be taking it. And unlike you motherfuckers, I'm legit concerned for Tank's safety. His safety. I'm concerned for his physical safety and the optics. If he's on the floor quivering and Jake Paul standing over him, the picture of that is deeper than Tank. I told y'all, I'm going live after that fight. Watch how many unidentified flying faggots come into the chat that we've never seen before, talking about, aha, Tank lost. All they know is that I'm a black boxing channel. So by association, automatically I'm pro Tank. And they know nothing about me. They don't hear what I just said. See, y'all Tank fans don't hear what I just said. In your minds, all you're saying is he not gonna lose to no Jake Paul. He's gonna do what he do. Yo, look, here's the reality. Jake Paul can go in there and knock the shit out that little nigga. There, I said it. The probability of that happening is very, very real. It's real. Y'all dead ass are looking like Apollo Creed right now. Oh, he's just a big dumb Russian. I'm gonna dance on him. I'm gonna jab him. Went there and got killed. There was look, the Rocky movies, the fighting might have been corny, but every movie, even Rocky 5, every movie had a legit message in it. You found out that Apollo couldn't hang it up. His ego got him killed. They were supposed to stop it after the first round. He said, whatever you do, don't stop it. He literally wanted to go out on the shield. And sometimes you need somebody that loves you or a group of people that loves you to say, look, man, you're not doing this. What do you want? What are you trying to prove, man? He was rich. He was a legend. He was at home chilling in the pool, playing catch and fetch with his dogs. And he saw this Russian on there and his ego got involved. And it got Apollo killed. He wanted that shine. He didn't want to jump into the rankings and fight somebody. Because you remember, Drago wasn't even like really ranked like that. If you remember the story. And he jumped in there and got killed. He said, man, this big dude, I'm out box this guy. As soon as he put the paws on him, it was over. Ego got Apollo killed. His whole corner could have stopped that fight. Creed said it in the story. The only family I had, you let die. Think about Rocky IV when he had the towel up and about to throw it, and Apollo looked at him and said, no. Brains oozing out his ear, no. And Rocky stopped. He was at a crossroads. Do I listen to my friend or do I do what's right? And that character had to live with that. Even he went to Russia and beat up Drago. He had to live with that. That's what the story was about. And you assholes are behaving like Rocky right now. Y'all should have been against this. The threat is real. Now, could Tank go in there and knock him out? Possibly. Possibly. But if this kid gets hurt, my live is going to be exceptional. I'm going to tell it, it's all of y'all motherfuckers that can't say the word exhibition. It's all of y'all fault. Because just remember, I didn't wish this on him. I just wanted him to fight his contemporaries. At least they were around his weight class. Y'all would rather see him in a fucking ring in a clown fight with somebody that can actually hurt him. Y'all don't think that Tank can't get hurt by this guy? I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Oh, it's an expedition. You can't even say the word. Y'all have no concept. And this is why I say casuals are dangerous for the sport of boxing. Y'all are dangerous because y'all are in huge numbers and y'all root for these guys for the wrong reasons. And in this instance, you could potentially get this kid hurt. It's not 150 million. He's making 40 million. He could have made that fight in his contemporaries and possibly beat them. But he's jumping over to this clown fight because he's really done with boxing. See money, salute. He's done. He's fed up with the sport. He was lied to about a 7-fight deal. Al Heyman's leaving. He don't want to do this anymore. So he's getting in the ring with an Ivan Drago style of situation. And he can get hurt. This hurts it. The fact that he's taking this fight hurts his brand. You know why? All of this shit y'all was saying, y'all mad at the brother getting his money. Turns out he's making the same amount of money that he could have made fighting Devin or Shakur. Fights that he could have won, right? Y'all making it sound like he was getting 100 million. No, he's getting 40. That's it. So we're not mad at him getting the money. We're mad at him getting the same amount of money in a stupid ass fight where he could have actually had a career-defining moment. Even if he gets in there and lost to Devin, at least we can say that he fought him. Or Shakur, at least we can say he fought him. When I ask a casual break down his career and tell me why he's a Hall of Famer, y'all would rather undermine the Hall of Fame than to critique his resume. That's what's wrong with y'all. And that's why the PBC is going out of business. Because there's too many of y'all. And the business model ran out. And when Turkey Al-Sheikh came in, Joe the Beast, what up? When Turkey Al-Sheikh came in and did what he did, there's no room for Al Heyman to do shit. So y'all don't have to like it, but it's a reality. And this is why I'm annoyed with casuals. This is why. Y'all don't know what's going on. See, I'm going to be here watching boxing when your favorite fighter retires and leaves you hanging. I'm still going to be here talking about the sport. But you did just enough to come in here and literally mess it up. And then you leave. You know what this is? Growing up, you remember when you was like a young teen and Sunday morning, your mother wake you up and say, gets to cleaning. You got to clean your room. Then you might have another assignment, do the laundry, clean the bathroom. Sunday was cleanup day in my crib. That's it. No exceptions. My brother washing dishes and my sister doing, something. She cleaned the living room. I'm cleaning my room and the bathroom. Right? Sometimes you get that visit from your relative, and your relative always got that little cousin, and this nigga a badass. He's a little younger than you. Oh, don't hit him. He a baby. He a little special, and he's running around in your crib that you just cleaned up and knocking shit over and pulling shit off the shelves, and you got to run behind him or her because he's trying to undo everything you did. That's how I view you casuals. You are the badass cousins that come through to fuck shit up. and then you leave. And now I got to clean this up again. That's how I view y'all. That's why I can't stand y'all. And the bad part is, y'all are not even willing to learn shit. It's okay to say you're a casual. But not one time do I hear any casual get on any panel and say, hey, I don't know this, but tell me about it. No, these new style casuals, they come up in here and they'll argue you down. They're like, no, it's not that, it's this. And then they'll say, oh, no, look, you just don't like him. All right, well, look, I don't have to like him. We're beyond that. But I ain't lying on the motherfucker. Case in point. You ready for this? You ain't gonna like this one. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. You ready? Okay, I need y'all to listen. How does it feel to know that everything that Rick Glasser said about Al Heyman's business model was right? Uh-oh. How does that make you feel? Now, I know the casuals, y'all don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've been talking for an hour and a half. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. How does it feel to know that the whole time when he was talking about Al's business model, how it's not going to work long term, how does it feel to know that he was right? Now, why am I saying that? Because he's a racist piece of crap. But you know what? He wasn't wrong on that. No, sir. He was not wrong. Drew, you're getting deep. Yeah, I am. He stuck around all this time. See now, where it was coming from, the place in his heart, where it was coming from, indeed it was racist. I don't like that guy. He's a racist piece of crap. I just put on the screen his tweet about Daniel Kinahan, and Daniel Kinahan's a criminal. He saw more value in Daniel fucking Kinahan than he did in Al Heyman. That is a racist. He is a bigot. Absolutely. But when it came down to what he said about Al Heyman's business model, he was correct. How'd that make you feel? Hurts, don't it? You don't like that. You don't like that. Struck a nerve yet? Let it sink in. Yo, it was just as difficult. Y'all remember when Sergey Kovalev was the crusher and he was the most dangerous light heavyweight on the planet? You know that hurt my feelings, right? I ain't like that. Y'all go back and watch that Bernard Hopkins. This is before Bernard Hopkins lost his mind running around with Oscar De La Hoya. Y'all know how painful that was? Coach, did you watch the Bernard Hopkins versus Sergey Kovalev fight? That broke my damn heart. The Joe Smith fight I didn't care for because B-Hop, it was going to happen sooner or later. That falling out the ring shit was OD. But salute to Joe Smith, Long Island on deck, New York. I ain't got no problem with Joe Smith. Joe Smith wasn't Sergey Kovalev. See, I knew Sergey Kovalev was a Russian racist. A racist. So you're a foreigner and you're a racist on top of that, making money in my country, and nobody cared. Man, B-Hop was fighting for his life, and I did not like that. You remember when he dropped Bernard? Remember at the end of the fight, Bernard was pumping his glove? That was a, oh shit, I survived. He was just lucky to get out that fight. I did not like that. I said, man, damn. Somebody got to kick. Will someone please kick his ass? Shout out to Andre Ward. Will someone please kick his ass? That hurt watching Bernard get bopped around the ring like that. I was glad when the round ended. I said, oh, God damn. Thank God there's no 15 rounders no more because it was going to happen. Sergey beat the shit out of him. That hurt, but it was a reality. Once upon a time, Sergey Kovalev was the best light heavyweight in the world. You don't like him? Beat him. Shout out to Andre Ward. See? These are hard truths, man. But it's the truth. If you want to know what's going on with the PBC, look at what they did with Tank in the last 2 years. He should have been the face of boxing, but you know who they thought could save them? They brought in Canelo. And they paid Canelo an insane amount of money, and Tank was sitting right there. So Tank fans, you casuals, y'all let that happen? That was the time y'all should have started your pro-Tank pages. That right there? Hey, what's wrong with Al Heyman? You got Tank right there. Why you bringing in Canelo? I don't know. I watched and I said, look at that. Why they bringing in Canelo? He done bankrupt Showtime. He bankrupt DAZN. So the PBC says, hey, man, value. Let's get him. Let's get our views up. I'm like, no. No. Y'all better make him fight Benavidez. And he said, nope. I do what I want. This is my goddamn soundbite.
Whatever, I do what I want.
Drank that swamp and broke the fuck out, did he not? And Tank was sitting right there. He was sitting right there. And I said, yo, y'all get on my panel and hang, y'all fuss with me? Y'all didn't see that? Canelo showed up, took like, what, 100 mil and left? And Tank was there the whole time? Al, what's up? What the fuck was that? And then that's when, see, I knew this already, but that's when I was sure, at this point, it's business. It was never about, hey, I'm black and I'm doing this for black fighters. I just got a lot of black and brown fighters around me. No, it's about my bottom line. It's about my business. And I think my business has run its course in boxing, especially since this motherfucking Turkey Al-Sheikh came in. I can't compete. So I invested money into this. I made money from this. We're not in the red. I'm gonna cut my losses. I'm gonna tell my fighters, yo, when somebody comes a calling, if Golden Boy comes a calling, if Matchroom or Queensberry comes a calling, and they all in bed with Riyadh season, go get your bread. I'm advising you, because I was an advisor. I'm advising you, go get your money. Go get your money. Go get your money. And these are the kind of conversations that casuals are not equipped to have, because they don't know. All they see is Tank. All they hear is us holding them accountable. And they will mystify the whole thing and say, hey, man, you're hating on him. No, because I'm never lying on him. You perceive it different. It's okay to want to talk him up unconditionally. Hey, man, here's a point. Here's a problem with that. Sometimes when you talk these brothers up conditionally, 1 round with George, salute. You hurt yourself, man. You put yourself in a position where you could hurt yourself. Y'all ever rooted for this one brother and spoke up on his brother, and the brother turned around and did something stupid, and now you're left there like, oh shit. My brother George says, I remember working for the PBC. They definitely wanted to have their own league, but it's so hard to do. It's the wild, wild west. Yes. So I believe that and go subscribe to my brother 1 Round with George. Let's run his numbers up, please. This man was in the industry. He worked for HBO. Yes, he knows all those guys. Yes, click on his name and go subscribe to George. Jersey. He knows what he's talking about. He was there. That's really him with Emmanuel Stewart right there. He knows these guys. So he can tell you some shit. So I believe the PBC had great intentions, but it's always an uphill battle. Was there a race thing behind it? Of course there was. Did Al Heyman do what he could? Yes. But I think it's run its course. I think it's run its course. And it's okay. Now, do I hate Al? No. I'm just telling y'all what happened. Salute the Al. Salute the Al. Really. But I think it's over. I could be wrong. I don't mind being wrong. But I think it's over. And this Tank Davis thing is the icing on the cake. I just don't like his last choice of opponent. I think this is dangerous. It's foolish. You don't need to do this. And I think he could do better, man. I think he could do better. Yeah, George knows that guy, Rick Glasser. George could tell you some shit about him. You mean to tell me that Tank couldn't afford one of these 15 guys, man? Win or lose, man. Man, you fought Lamont Roach, but run that back, bro. Are you serious, man? Speaking of leagues, this was on Twitter. This is a couple of years old now, a few years old. His brother said, yo, they telling us how they really feel. Some dude named Casual Boxing Fan says black fans always complaining, go start a Negro league or something. That's how they feel. You see why they hated Al? Because that was the closest thing to a Negro league that they could feast their eyes upon. And I'm going to keep saying this. If there was a Negro league, there'll be nothing for them others to root for because we would run shit. You think I'm bullshitting? I'm just going to leave this picture right here. And you tell me what the fuck's going on here. Josh Taylor lost to Teofimo Lopez. And I like Josh Taylor. But Teofimo schooled him. Teofimo also ducked Devin Haney $11 million. Teofimo also got a dub over Vasily Lomachenko. See George Kambosos down there? Yeah, salute to him. But he got smoked 24 rounds in a row by Devin Haney on his own soil. There goes that. Mikey Garcia got retired by Sandro Martin, who I didn't put on this list. Jorge Linares lost to Devin Haney. See how this is going? You see? Keep talking that Negro League shit. Y'all ain't gonna have nothing to watch but us. That's real shit. Philip D in the building. So salute to the PBC, man. I'm not dragging them. I'm just saying I think their time is up. And again, they might have had some wiggle room if there was no Riyadh season. That Riyadh season shit was some video game shit. Only in a video game, I could take Jack Johnson and make him fight Roy Jones Jr. That type of shit. I'm like, who's this? Turkey Al-Sheikh. Okay, who's that? What? Man, we've been trying to get Bivol versus Beterbiev for like 4 years. We're going on the third fight? Huh? Oh, there it is. Money talks. Bunny should take a hop. Hey, man. Man, listen. Salute to Al. Thank you, Al, because you did your thing. PBC been busting ass for a little over a decade. And look, man, things like this just happen. It's business. The average business folds in 4 years. It's either make or break. You either are in the red. If you're in the red after 4 years, you're going to have a problem. You have to at least have broken even. It's hard out here. But Al Heyman is a brilliant mind, and salute to the brother. I just think that time's up, and that's okay, y'all. That's okay. Salute to Al Heyman, salute to the PBC. I personally think that they're closing up shop. I'll say a prayer for all the fighters under that banner, because y'all do this for a living. Y'all go ahead and get your money. I don't know what the Charlos are doing. Now, you know, Jamel's talking about fighting Bud now. I said back then the time to fight Bud was after he beat Errol. You shouldn't even went over there to fight goddamn Canelo, especially since you went in there and laid an egg. The time to fight Bud was when he jumped on the rope after beating Errol and saying, "You're next." Instead, you said, "Oh, I don't know why we even talking. We're not even in the same weight class." Well, you wasn't in fucking Canelo's weight class, but you went up there and fought for what, 10 milli and laid an egg. You ain't throw a punch for like 10 rounds, man. You ain't do shit. That story writes itself. Bud versus Texas. You beat Errol. You got the big fish. Now what? Lions in the camp. And guess what? That's one fight for undisputed, because Mel was undisputed at that time at 54. Come on, man. That story writes itself. And guess what? I think Mel Charlo would have fought Bud better than Canelo did. Canelo got smoked. There was nothing Canelo could do. I told y'all, stylistically, this is the nightmare for Canelo, and y'all saw it. I said, yo, your Bud's all wrong for this guy. Y'all saw it. All this talk about size and everything, I said, look, it could be a factor. It's boxing, but I just don't see it. Bud got too many tools. Canelo does not. Bud got too many tools. He fought southpaw all night. Fought him on the outside, fought him on the inside. I'm like, man, this it's over. And he ate his punches. Told y'all. Now to my Bud fans, let me tell you what Mel robbed your man of. And I say this respectfully. If Bud had fought Mel and beat Mel, he's now undisputed at 54. Then, imagine he goes on to fight Canelo. Then he's undisputed at 68. That's 40, 47, 54, and 68. I'm just saying. And now Mel's talking about, yo, I'd love to fight Bud. That shit probably sailed. But why are you saying that now? There's a lot of other things you could be doing. Look, I think the PBC's doors are closing. And I'm saying it's okay. They made their mark. They did a hell of a great job. I appreciate you, Al Heyman. Thank you so much. I heard you had health issues. I hope you're fine. I hope you're okay. And I say this and I'm not joking this morning. Y'all need to pray for Tank Davis. I'm being serious. Pray for him. I'm dead serious. If he gets out of this fight unscathed, take your 40 million, young man, and go raise your baby girls and walk away from the sport. Don't come back. I hope you have people around you that teach you how to manage your wealth and just ride off into the sunset. You made your choice. Money over legacy, and I'm not mad at you. I wanted you to be great and get those names and do something. You didn't want that. At the end of the day, you're a grown man. You're a father. Stop messing with these whores that mean you no good. Get your therapy that you want. Raise your baby girls right off into the sunset. It is about you. I'm always going to keep it honest about your career now. But you've made your bread, and that's cool. Open up a gym in Baltimore. Kids will flock to that place, man. Mentor kids about the business of boxing. Do that. You can there's still time. Do that. But if Al Heyman is closing the doors after this Jake Paul shit, I hope you're safe. and just ride off into the sunset, Tank. Because what the community doesn't need is a photo of you on a goddamn floor with Jake Paul standing over you with his tongue out of his mouth wagging it. Because that's all white America's going to see. And I'm being serious. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, if that happens, watch my chat that night. Watch my chat. There's going to be a bunch of people in here. Oh, yeah, yo, take loss. I'm like, I don't know why you're here doing that. Watch. It's symbolic, the symbolism behind that. And that's what the casuals don't get. That's just how it is. When AJ got knocked out by Ruiz, and I spoke about it. Now, some cats came in, oh, yeah, y'all saw AJ lose? Oh, my God, how you feel about that? I said, this ain't no AJ channel. What are you talking about? Wrong channel, guy. Wrong channel. See? All they saw was a black man talking boxing, and they just assumed. See? But it's not about race, though, right? Man, I know what time it is. I know what time it is. That's why I don't like casuals being around me that are not willing. It's okay to be a casual when you're willing to learn. But you're a casual speaking on behalf of somebody that you cannot defend. I can't deal with you. I can't. I refuse. So if the PBC closes its doors, they had a great run. And I'm not going to talk anything bad about them. I'm just going to tell the truth. And salute to Al Heyman, because he did the best he could, and he made a hell of a mark in boxing. He sure did. But time has run its course. Y'all saw George in the chat. You saw what he said. Understand? You saw Trick Nolte talk about Layman Brewster. So things are what they are, and that's okay. That's okay. So I'm gonna step off, man. No show tomorrow and possibly Friday. I got a lot going on. You know, I'm the point guard. I'm the QB of my family. So I'm taking care of everyone and everything. Man, let me say this to the men in here. Ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for us. We just need to perform. We are the backbones of society. We're the backbones of our family. Don't cry about shit. You can cry later. Cry later. Get it done. Just get it done. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat. Much love and appreciation to all of you. Get to know the sport if you don't know it. It's okay to have a favorite fighter. But if you care to know the sport, just get to know the sport. Because the things we talk about here, something different. Next time I come back, got some things to say about Paulie Malignaggi. Now, y'all know I don't have like a great relationship with that dude because of the Mar Arbery thing. But I'll keep it boxing. Because Paulie Malignaggi is a prime example of this Apollo Creed shit. Some of these guys just need to know when to just stop before they literally kill themselves. There's no reason outside of, unless he got some financial shit going on, there's no reason for him to be overseas in a bare knuckle brawl. Looking like Frankenstein now. That is absurd. That is ridiculous. But more on that when I return, probably Friday, but more than likely I'm gonna be taking the next couple of days off. Got a lot of things to do. Salute to y'all. Y'all be safe. You know what I'm saying? Love your brothers and sisters. When I say brothers, I don't mean black people or brown. Man, look, man. All this beef and shit is trash. I don't like it. If you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you, and I'll stay away from you. There are cats that burned bridges with me that I don't even want to talk to them anymore. And I stand on that. Stand on that. That don't mean I wish them harm. If it's salvageable, then solve it. If you can't, just stay away. Forgive me, y'all. I just got a lot on my mind. You know, I'm dealing with shit. But I ain't gonna talk y'all to death, man. Go subscribe to my Patreon. I take the gloves off over there. I say what I want. I play the music I want. I'm trying to figure out how to go live on Patreon. I think there's a way to do it. I'm just still trying to figure stuff out. Go subscribe to Bear Cave Entertainment. I'm at 402 subs. Let's run it up. I need another 103. Need another 103. That's my nerd channel. I'm gonna go live over there too. I ain't gonna be talking, but the only boxing over there is gonna be my live streams, but all that other stuff is gonna be entertainment. So salute to y'all. I appreciate y'all. I think the general might be on. Yeah, man. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.